In this video, I'll be explaining to you 5 key strategies on how to master office politics. If you're working in the office environment, it's impossible to avoid office politics. You need key strategies for success and climb the corporate ladder and increase your salary. I will share with you all you need to know in this video based on my 10 years in the investment banking industry. Typically, what are the primary causes for office drama and how to deal with this? So one of the primary causes will be co-workers. Co-workers, there's always some typical drama, particularly in this type of sensitive environment you're in this society as it currently is. But it's important to understand that co-workers are typically at least partly responsible for your performance reviews. So your manager will go ahead and ask co-workers on your team and maybe in other teams how they feel about working with you. Are you helpful? Do you engage with them often? So you need to understand your co-workers do have a say in your performance review, which has a say in your salary, which has a say in your bonus. So bear in mind, try to manage healthy co-worker relationships in a professional way. Don't get involved in company drama and gossip. Just focus on maintaining those healthy relationships, not necessarily to build a friendship, but just simply to help your performance reviews, which are going to help your salary at the end of the day. Another difficult source of office drama would be managers. You need to be able to manage your manager. Managing your manager is managing their expectations, their personality, and so on. So that's something you need to also bear in mind, because that can be also difficult to do if you have a difficult manager in a toxic work environment. You need to be able to understand and deal with those type of office politics by being helpful to your manager, maintaining a healthy boundary from them, being able to manage your workload and your ability to complete work within a timely manner. So just try to manage that relationship to avoid the drama that can come from your manager. Another source of drama outside of co-workers and managers is thinking about future changes, that you need to plan ahead for changes in your team dynamic, changes with regards to your manager, changes when it comes to your workplace culture. Maybe they're becoming more focused on structure or hierarchy or consolidating the work environment, restructuring, there's job losses and you might have to do someone else's work as well as your job. You need to be able to deal with different nuances. An example I give to you here is I worked at one major investment bank, and there were many changes when it came to my manager. So in the space of about 4 years, I dealt with 4 different managers. And in each case, they were looking for their exit in a sense because they didn't like the particular team and dynamic we were dealing with. So one year I was dealing with a manager who would frequently call off sick, and then they managed to find another job and kind of didn't really come to work for a few months. I dealt with a manager after that who was focused on kind of their family life, and they were meant to be working full-time but kind of working part-time. Then we had another manager after that who had effectively moved from one department to my department, and they didn't have an interest in the particular work we were doing. So after 1 year of being my manager, they moved back into their old job. And then I dealt with a manager who was coming from a different culture, and of course it's perfectly fine working with people from different cultures, but they didn't understand this workplace culture we were in, and it caused a lot of communication difficulties. So you can't control all of those things, but you can try to minimize the drama by doing the best job you can with the resources you can and the time you have, and try to maintain a decent level of detachment, a healthy level of detachment from a lot of the politics and personalities and egos and oversensitive environments you can be in the office nowadays. Now, a couple key things that could help you when it comes to dealing with this type of complex environment. Firstly, I would say partly be a spy. And what do I mean by be a spy? Be friendly, collate the bigger picture from different sources, different co-workers, about the workplace environment, the workplace culture, what's going on, what are the future changes, what are the team dynamics. If someone doesn't like someone else, you don't have to get involved in that, but you have to be aware of that dynamic. If the manager is going to change in a few months, what type of manager are they looking to hire? Are they going to be more strict, more laid back? Are they coming from an experienced background? It helps for you to know this, to know to manage your workload and how to deal with that type of person. And also when it comes to major structural changes in the company, it's good to keep your eye on what people are discussing about that. And then also bear in mind the final solution. Now, what is the final solution? The final solution in this context is leaving. If the strategy doesn't work out, then if the strategy that I mentioned before about being a spy, being low drama, being nice to co-workers, managing your manager who might have a difficult personality, the final solution is to leave. You can always leave, go to another company, earn a higher salary. Typically, if you move from one company to another, you're going to be increasing your salary. So things like that are quite important to do and quite important to consider. Now, the other tips that I wanted to share with you would be to have a strong network, keeping your options open. And that kind of key point there would be always keep in touch when it comes to different recruiters. I would always recommend every couple months, give a call to a few recruiters and say, I've been working at the company I've currently been working at for a year or two. I'm looking at other options out there just to see what's out there. Just so you know, you have a backup option. So if things do get really terrible at the company you're working for, you're a bit depressed, you're a bit demotivated or demoralized by the social dynamics, you have other options on the table that you can consider. Now, just to conclude, so I mentioned a few things there, managing co-workers, the different personality types, remembering that co-workers, even if you don't like them, they do have a say in your performance reviews, so you do want to maintain a healthy, positive relationship with them. And then difficult managers, if you're dealing with a difficult manager, just try to get your work done. Evidence everything you're doing on writing, on an email, is showing you're doing your job. If they want to be over emotional about something, they're going to have to point it out in writing, because writing, the documentation you've been maintaining is you've been doing a good job. And then also think about future changes and planning ahead. So being able to plan ahead when it comes to changes in the company structure, the team structure, or your management. If you're a good spy, you'll know about these changes. You'll be able to plan ahead, decide if you want to leave or not. Or you can stay and maybe be in a different team, different department, change your role slightly. So just bear in mind, you have plenty of options as long as you're calm and strategic when it comes to managing office politics. So I hope you find that video helpful. In the description, I have a free ebook with plenty more career tips for you. And on the screen, you can see some helpful career advice for JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. I'll see you in the next video.